Before we begin evaluating this poster to see if we've met all the requirements on the rubric, consider using the pasteboard to start playing around with and experimenting with your layout. To use the pasteboard, just click and drag the objects off to the side, and then consider where you might place them elsewhere. With the objects off to the side, you can also consider making changes to your content. For example, in this text box, do I really need it to be one single text box? Perhaps I create new text boxes that include the information that I'd like. For example, to find out more, I might like that in a separate text box. So I'm just going to cut that from this text box and paste it into this one. I may also want to take a look at other items like application deadline. Of course, you're going to want to make sure that everything that you include has up-to-date information. The application deadline for this poster is actually going to be April 1st, 2015. In addition to which, you may want to look at some of the other changes that need to be made. For example, in this particular text box, I have a previous year's information site. So in this particular case, I'm going to change this as well from OCMC 2014. The new address is biz.sheridancollege.ca/OCMC. Once you've had a chance to decide the layout that you want to use, and once you have a new configuration, take a look at all of the elements. Have I considered where my borders will go? Have I considered design tension? Have I been paying attention to the customer's requirements as far as color needs? And now I've made a number of modifications, and I want to see what exactly does this poster look like without the distraction of all these additional lines and guides, links, and image boxes. To do that, it's really quite simple. All you need to do is do a Shift W. So I'm now ready to look at this poster and evaluate it against the rubric. I'm also able to take a look at some of the client's requests and see if I've met those requests. And now that I'm in this preview, I can start looking at things like the color schemes, for example. Am I being mindful of the corporate colors? The client has requested that the primary two colors be the two blues. And I can see that I have both that turquoisey cyan blue here and the dark blue. I also have all the colors present. So I do have some orange here and a little bit here, but it's only a little bit for emphasis. I'm also looking at elements like typography. I'm using typography to support the concept and the brand, and the client has specifically requested a sans serif font. I also have a very clear hierarchy of type, so you can see my titles, my subtitles, and the standard text. I have a minimum of 2 images, both images cropped on using the rule of third, and I've maintained aspect ratio for both images. One thing I noticed that I've missed is that I did not include the copyright information, so that is something I'm going to need to go in and include. The copyright information should be the copyright symbol, 2014 Sheridan College. I'm going to click Escape to return to InDesign. Looking at this image, I should also be mindful of design tension. Now, the reason why we want to be mindful of design tension is we want to attract attention. So we want to make sure that there's design elements that include design tension. In this case, I have the title, and the title is actually moving outside of the borders, and it's breaking borders here. I also have some elements here like the one of 2015 that is running into the content here. And as I'm going through this document, I'm looking at a number of other elements, like how design elements are pointing in different directions. In this case, this line of text is pointing me upwards to the Ontario College Marketing Competition. Even just simply her hair pointing in this direction to the location of the Sheridan College. Once you're certain that you're happy with your poster, then you want to actually go ahead and save it so that it can be loaded to Slate. Now there's 2 documents that you need to load to Slate. The first one is a PDF. The reason why you're going to create a PDF is because you may be using fonts that your instructor does not have. Your instructor will be able to see what the poster looks like without having to worry about installing a number of fonts. To do that, you go up to the File menu, and then you want to go to the Adobe PDF presets. Here I'm going to select High Quality Print, and I'm going to go ahead and call this Poster Chantal Windmuller. You want to make sure that you have Adobe PDF Print in the Save As type, and you're going to save it in a location that you can easily find it. In this case, I already have this document saved, so when I click Save, it's going to ask me if I want to replace. The next step here is to accept the current settings. You don't have to change anything here. Basically, you want all pages included. You want to optimize for fast web view and keep everything exactly the same. Here I'm going to click Export, and now InDesign has created the PDF of that document. The next step is to create a package. The reason why we create a package is to include all of the images, fonts, and linked documents in a summary folder. And that folder will be helpful should you win the competition, because the printer will need to have all the required linked documents and all of the images and the Word file that this document is made up of in order for it to be able to be printed. Without those files, the document will have a bunch of broken links. So let's go ahead and do that. A package is also done through File. So when you click on File, you want to go down to Package, and then when you click on Package, a new dialog box will open. In this package, you'll see here that it says Summary, Fonts, Links and Images, Color and Inks, Print Settings, and External Plugins. And if you take a look here in the summary, you can see that I have links and images actually included. 2 links. It goes on to say that I have 2 RGB color spaces identified. This is all very helpful information for the printer. Go ahead and click on Package. Publication must be saved before continuing. Save it now. Go ahead and say Save. Now this printing instruction dialog box you can leave completely blank for now. This would be something that would be completed after the fact before it goes to the printing house. Here then you would click on Continue. And here once again I'm going to name this Chantal Windmuller Poster, and I'm going to put PKG for package. Now I'm going to go ahead and click on Package. This is actually going to create a folder, and just say OK. You now have 2 documents, a PDF of your file as well as a folder, which is the package, and it contains everything for this particular document. What you want to do is you want to zip the package before uploading it, because it will be a substantial file. You also want to make sure that you include the PDF, but not within the zipped package. So when you're uploading to Slate, you should have 2 separate documents. One more thing, have fun and be creative. Your poster should not look like the sample. You want to create a document that's unique and that catches the eye as much as possible while including your own creativity.